Do you have a few networking tips you can share so we can move toward investors? That's a great question. Networking is the art of really making connections happen and working with other people and leveraging your own time, your own skills. It is a true art form, and I will tell you, very, very few people know how to network effectively. They may try to bulldoze their way through a room. They may walk around with their elbows out, banging into people as they go, trying to get leads or trying to, close sales. There are a lot of things that go wrong in a networking environment. There's a small number of things that make it work. So great question. Let's address this. Here's what we got. Number one, the fuel of networking is giving. The more you give, the more you get back. That's the way the universe works. That's the way networking works. The more you give, the more you get back. So you have to give introductions. You have to be nice. You have to maybe make your own referrals. You have to put content into the marketplace. I mean, there's all the different things that you have to do. And when you do those things, the world and the people around you start giving back to you. Now, one thing you have to remember is that it's not necessarily a reciprocal arrangement. That means that just because I give something to you doesn't mean you're going to give something back to me. If I give a referral to you, you may not ever be in a position to give a referral back, but somebody else is going to give a referral to me at some point in time, and that's kind of a pay it forward arrangement. And that's the way that it works. So you have to really think about pay it forward. This is not a scorekeeping kind of a deal. Another important component about this is that selling and networking just don't mix. The one thing that goes wrong for a lot of people in a networking environment is they go in with the expectation that they're going to sell. When people go into a networking environment, a cocktail party, a business meeting of some kind that's designed for networking, they let their guard down a little bit. They relax. And when you go in and start selling, the guard comes right back up. And that is exactly what you do not want to have happen. You don't want to be branded as a pariah that bullies people, that pushes people around, that's always selling. That is just not a reputation that you want to have. You want to go into that environment and you want to meet people, you want to be nice to people, you want to try to introduce people to one another, and you want to be known as a giver, somebody that contributes positively into the environment. Now, that being said, if you're going to give, you give away the what, not the how. You don't necessarily have to tell them exactly how everything works, because when you do that, you don't want to give away all your value. But that doesn't mean that there aren't lots of things that you can give away. You can make suggestions. You can tell people what books you're reading. You can tell people that they might meet, excellent vendors that you're dealing with. There's a lot of things that you can share that are of great value. And you don't have to give away all your trade secrets in the process of doing that. So I wouldn't worry a great amount about this. Now, what happens if you go somewhere and somebody at that meeting gloms onto you because they don't know how to network and they don't know how to make friends and they don't have any other friends in this environment, and you're the one person that they connect with. They glom onto you. How do you extricate yourself successfully from the situation? In a networking environment where there's many people walking around, you do not want to spend a lot of time with any single person. You want to meet as many people as you can. You want to collect as many cards as you can. You want to make notes on the back of those cards about whatever you need to know about that person, about what they like to invest in, about what they like to work on, whatever it is. You need to have a lot of those things in order. So you mark it down, let's say on the back of their business card, put it in your computer, put it in your phone when you're done, so that when you talk to them in the future, you know where to go with the conversation. But when you get that one person that gloms onto your leg and they just won't let go of you, after a couple of minutes of talking to them, realizing where the conversation is going to go or not go, you might say something to them like, well, listen, you've got a lot of people you want to meet, and I've got a lot of people I want to meet, so it's been very nice to meet you. Let's get to it. And you don't have to necessarily give them a business card if you don't want to have any future connection. No obligation. There's really not. You're polite. You extricate yourself in the most glamorous and polite way, and you move on. Another really important factor is, let's say you're talking to somebody and you say something to them and they just don't respond the way you expect. Don't keep pounding on them. If you say to somebody, you tell them what you do. Hey, listen, I run a fund. We raise money from investors and buy distressed assets, or whatever it is that you do. The person is going to respond in one of a couple ways. They're either going to say, number one, hey, that's very nice. by the way, I'm going to Milwaukee next week. What's the weather? If they say something like that, then they're clearly not interested in what you do, which is okay. They might say, gee, that sounds very interesting. Could we talk further about that? And then at that point, I'd probably tell them, hey, listen, it's a complicated conversation. Why don't we connect next week and we'll make it happen? And you do that because you don't want to talk to them about something that's private in front of a whole lot of people. Let's say you're in an environment like that. The third possibility is that you're going to run into somebody who's going to want to be a vendor to you. And they're going to say, listen, I didn't realize that you're a fund that buys real estate or whatever you do. Did you know I'm a real estate broker? Can I sell you some real estate? Or I'm a mortgage broker, or I'm a window washing company, or I'm a property management service, or whatever they do. So there's really those big three scenarios that can unfold, and you need to be prepared for whichever one. So the quest for investors, the quest to meet people, the quest to find the right connections is a hard one. It's an ongoing one. It's something that you need to master across your entire lifetime. And hopefully these are just a couple of little tips that'll help you meet a couple more investors and be more successful with those people as you move forward, because this is a great business as long as you go out and stake your claim.